That's insane, dude.
We're live now.
I told you that it was fuel. I told you.
Yeah, but that's not normal.
Well, duh.
See, this is the green stuff.
They had to have put something in there. There's no other answer.
You just see what it's doing to my cast iron frying pan.
You just ruined a good log cabin.
But it didn't eat this one. And this is the same bolts. This one I machined down on the end to use as a cam holding tool. Like there's a little bit of a rust that formed right there, but that's it.
Is that a stainless bolt?
I don't know. It's out of that Dorman bolt kit. Like I got the whole wall assortment.
I wonder if it ain't stainless. I bet you it is.
But these other ones, I think they're all the same. Maybe it's not the same.
It might be a stainless bolt.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe I bought other bolts and threw it in there because it looks different. It has a different coating. There we go.
Is my
Yeah, it might be
internet
stainless.
is my internet connection better today?
Perfect. Oh, look, George is in here.
That's so weird how that works.
Can you see the chat?
I can't. I don't know why.
Huh. Hi, George. George, did you ever see fuel eat bolts? Look at that bolt. Right there. That bolt looked like this 3 days ago. Look at this one. You're back in.
Dude, I know what the problem was.
What?
So the problem was why is it doing that? The problem is I'm not on desktop site. Like I have to be on the desktop site on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Now I have the camera flip. What the hell is going on here? Oh, okay, maybe this is it. Hold on. Someday I'll figure this app out.
Paulie's having technical difficulties.
I have technical difficulties every day of my life. Let's see here. Oh, video settings. For real, dude. Come on. Facing front. Boom.
George, there's his forehead. George, can you see us? Oh, hear us?
Go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. What's up, George?
We got three people in here.
Oh, there'll be more.
Well, we started a little early.
That's okay. It gives everyone time.
Gives everybody time to figure out why this fuel's eating these bolts.
You know what you should do is take this sample, send it out to the lab and find out.
Well, I'll send it to you, and then you can tell me what's in it.
Oh yeah, okay, because I'm a scientist.
Well, when you work on cars, you got to have multiple hats.
I have so many hats. I should probably put a hat on. My hair looks like a mess.
There you go.
I swear I'm getting old, man.
You swear you're getting old?
Yeah.
I swear I'm getting old.
I am not lying, guys. I'm old. What do I want to wear today? The FDX hat?
What?
Hell yeah.
Today they're going to learn how to fix a light, maybe.
Today they're going to learn how Polly does laundry on Sunday because he's a housewife.
You can just do a day in the life of and just start recording everything.
Just record my life as if people care.
Yes.
Nobody cares about my life. There we go. We got to start this laundry. The old lady's going to be home. She's probably
Are you gonna press the extra power button?
What's that?
Are you gonna press the extra power button?
On the laundry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you see that commercial? Two guys that like turn the laundry by hand, and then they press the extra power button, and then they get real beefy.
Did you see Paul Danner's new video?
No.
It was awesome. It was so fun. I love it. That guy is.
What was the video on?
Scan tool can lie to you after doing that hard. So was it a 4? No, it was cool. I just love people just talking about it. He sounded so badass. Oh wait, we don't want to get demonetized.
I'm not even worried about it anymore.
Using on
all the live streams are demonetized.
What's your guess? What tool was like the measured by rate? You talking about Paul?
No, I think he's talking about me because I just released a video on the Cadillac. That was the Pico NVH.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that the NVH one?
Yeah, that was a That was the Pico scope.
You guys lost me on NVH. I still don't understand. I would have to physically play with that tool to understand it.
Come to PA and we'll mess with it. George, tell him to come to PA and we'll make a video breaking something. We'll go visit the neutral drop guys and do NVH with them.
Dude, it's weird. Like, my family is from Pennsylvania. I didn't even realize that. My great-grandfather Paul, my great-grandpa Lou Paul was a mechanical engineer for the military back in the good old days during the war, the big wars. So I didn't even realize that my whole family was on PA, and it's like, is this some kind of like stars aligning kind of crap? Like I need to go back home. Guys, how did I end up here? Why am I in Minnesota? What's wrong with me? State. What tool?
Did you ever watch that NVH video that I sent you, or no?
Well, I've been watching them, but I don't understand it. I mean, okay. I understand it, but I don't understand it.
Next live stream we'll do NVH.
Yeah, like if you could show like a real life application, I would probably get it. Because I gotta
drive down the
like anything else. I gotta actually
drive down the road over the rumble strips.
Yeah, drive down the rumble strips. Uniontown, PA.
Trying to remember where Uniontown is.
I've been to Philadelphia, but I was out there on a job and I was drunk at a bar.
He doesn't know how he got back.
I have no idea. I can't remember. I was young, I know that. Younger than I am now.
Oh, it looks like Uniontown's near East Uniontown.
Well, I can tell you this. I know which way you guys are voting this year. I'm not even gonna mention it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I got a good handle on it.
Oh, Uniontown's out near Pittsburgh. Oh, look at that. You just said south of Pittsburgh.
South of Pittsburgh, huh?
That's nowhere near me. I just made that drive. It was like 5 hours on one highway. I wonder if we could do NVH on a washer machine or dryer.
Put the NVH on my bed. There won't be any vibration. Ain't a lot of action going on in that thing. Oh man, jokes. I gotta put a jacket on and go and have a cigarette. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm so happy my gutters are done. Yes! This guy that came out and did this, amazing. But dude, I met this dude. I'm over at a friend. I haven't seen him in a while. Used to work with him at Motorworks. And I meet this dude, just some random guy, and he does gutters and stuff, and he does good work, right? So I'm like, hey man, just come over and give us an estimate. I'm talking out the door. I want the stuff done right. I want it done. Like, I don't want to deal with it. One weekend, done. Seamless gutters, downspouts, the whole 9 yards. New fascia, vented the ceilings on the garage. I mean, stellar, right? 4Gs. But you know what? Worth every penny because we got to do it. And I don't got time to do it. I ain't doing it. Sometimes it's better just to pay somebody to do it.
When they did your gutters, did they just use the like that solid thing of plastic where they meld it together or whatever?
No, like they bring out the machine and you can hear them run it through, and just bends the gutters. They cut them to length. They put it all together. They're,
Are they plastic or are they metal?
they're metal. They're tin or whatever.
Because I know
They're
they have that one
seamless.
they had that plastic one where they like have long sheets of plastic and it melts it to like it forms it to the shape that you want, and then it like melts the sections together when they need to do like a really long one.
Well, whatever they did it right. I know that because I went out and looked at it and I'm like, they even matched the color. I'm like, this is nice. That's what I'm talking about, So the little things in life that matter. Now I don't gotta worry about the walls rotting out anymore because I'm not fixing the walls in the garage. I think I got to make no sense. So now I fix the walls. I don't gotta worry about water. We get a lot of water.
Oh, Henry's in here.
So much water.
What's going on, Henry?
John, watching from Kenya. What? Sweet.
Hey guys, can you guys tell me why these bolts got all rusty after like 3 days of being in this gasoline or whatever you want to call it? That's a new bolt. That's what this bolt looked like. Here's another one.
I hate to say it, but I think they pump diesel fuel in that car.
But diesel fuel wouldn't make it rust.
I could be wrong. It's a it's a it's a European car.
Oh, look at that. He put a banana plug on his test light. Remember, I made that one during
Oh
the
yeah,
first live stream.
Did you put a double banana on there? Because that's what you want.
That's what I did. Remember, I did during that live stream.
That's the way to go. Yeah, I got to do the other 2 test lights I have. I still haven't done them. You know, I got all this time to do. Well, I could be doing it right now, like Rob, but I'm lazy like that. I can't rub my belly and tap my head at the same time. It's asking too much.
We could try it right now in the live stream.
Oh, it'll be an epic fail. It'll be an epic fail. Oh, now we got coffee. Yeah. Did you talk to Corey today?
Did I talk to who? You're lagging.
You know.
You're lagging. I can't hear
Corey.
it.
Did you talk to
Oh, Corey, no. I can call him right now and tell him to jump on.
No, don't even call him. Just let him naturally figure it out.
Okay, we'll just talk about him until he sees us.
Yeah, he will.
It says he was online 18 minutes ago.
See, there you go.
He was in the live stream last week that you missed.
Yeah, I know. I know I missed it. I was out doing things with family, unfortunately.
He was out playing in the snow.
No, I was visiting my parents, which is always.
You can show everybody now that you don't have leaves outside. You got snow.
Oh, the snow?
Yeah, because last week you were showing all the leaves. Or 2 weeks ago.
There's all the snow. Hold on.
You went from raking leaves to snow in 2 weeks.
Look at my roof. And then that's why. Like, I got to get up there and I got to shovel the crap off with the roof shovel. Because that's what rots my garage out.
So you're like, what's it called? The people in Massachusetts in that. A couple years ago when they had the 8 feet, they were all shoveling.
It's not bad out, though, because I'm out. See? I've acclimated.
Okay. You're acclimated to your 2 weeks of fall.
It's not that cold today.
It's never
Obviously,
that cold when it
because I see
snows.
No, well, I wish it was. I wish it was like 0 degrees because then we wouldn't have all this water. It's horrible. Like if the ground ain't frozen and we get all this snow, it's bad. It's bad. The ground needs to be frozen. And we're probably going to get a crap ton of snow this year. I can already see it.
Well, I could see it outside when you were there.
Yeah, that ain't nothing, though. That's only 5 inches. I bet you... I bet you all this crap melts. That's what's going to happen. All this crap's going to melt, make a sloppy, disgusting mess. Okay? And then, of course,
And we'll get no more snow.
then the salt trucks, you know, they're just itching. They're itching to get out there because, you know, they're making a bunch of money driving them salt trucks. So they're going to get out. They're going to dump a bunch of salt out that's not necessary because that's how it works. Or the calcium chloride. And then it's all going to dry up and it's going to be beautiful. Like you're going to swear it's summer again. And then it'll just drop to like -20 and just start snowing like mad.
And then all the cars will rust away when it gets warm out.
Yep. Yep. And then we get to sit in the shop and get dripped on and hate life and have wet boots all day. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I just can't wait.
I don't think some people realize how messy the snow is in the wintertime.
Oh my gosh, it's a disgusting mess.
And the cars just sit there and drip and drip and drip all day long. And you got to get the snow off of them and out of the bed. Pickup trucks are the worst. They'll sit there and drip for days.
I'll tell you what. If I worked in a warm state, I wouldn't know what to do with myself in the winter if, like, all I had to deal with was, like, no snow, you know, like, not having this season. Because, like right now is going to be this insane amount of cooling problems, like water pumps, thermostats, heater cores, radiators. Every year, same thing, just like AC season.
And the funny thing is, some of these cars are going to have brand new thermostats, and it's going to be the wrong thermostat that was installed, but nobody knew because the summer you can't really test the heat.
Exactly. And the best way to run your heat in the wintertime is you roll your windows down halfway and you crank the stuff on, you just crank it to full bore right in your face. That's how you get it done.
And then you hear the window crack. Let me tell you, that happened on my pickup truck last year. Just went boom.
You cracked your windshield? Oh, you're talking about the front windshield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just went boom and like exploded.
That happened to our car too. I cracked the windshield because I turned the defrost on, and she had probably like a half inch of ice on her from the ice storming.
Oh, I didn't even have any ice. Like, I swear something fell the tree at the same time, but because I caught it on my dash cam happening.
Well, see, and that there again, that's another reason why I hate this warm snow crap, because it'll snow like this, get slushy, then at night it drops below freezing, and it all freezes. It's horrible. Everything just ices up. And there ain't no clearing the snow off your driveway. You put the snowblower up, unless you got a plow, you could plow it. But even then, it's still a pain in the rear end because the crap's so heavy.
And then you run into the issue where you can't get in your car because the doors are froze shut because you had freezing rain the night before.
Well, yeah, you got to wash your car too, you know. Wash your car when it's -20. That's when you need to do it. And do not, whatever you do not wipe out the door jambs. Just let them be wet. Just let them be wet. So you can't get in your car in the morning. Then you call to work and you say, I can't come to work. I'm froze out of my car. That's what I do.
Oh, man.
Oh, cold climate.
Is anybody commenting or is my chat frozen?
No, nobody's commenting. They're just listening to us be stupid.
Okay. I think we have freezing rain right now.
Let it rain. Is PA got any snow?
No.
Really?
I think they did up in the mountains because my friend was complaining about snow.
Oh, that's right. You guys got the Appalachians, don't you?
I actually live in a valley, so like sometimes the snow just misses us or we get it really bad. Like my shop is 8 minutes away from my house and I've already had snow at my shop and not at my house. Like I left my shop because it was getting really bad out. And then I get home and there's no snow.
Are you guys' winters just super like wet colds?
We haven't had much snow. Last year, I don't even know if we really had any snow. I think it snowed one time and we got like an inch.
I bet you your guys' winters are a lot like Virginia. That's how Virginia was. It was like a lot of rain, cold, miserable. damp. I would rather be in dry cold than in wet cold any day. Like I can handle negative 20 degrees as long as it's dry. Because I remember skateboarding when I was a kid in January. In January, negative 20 degrees because it was dry. There was no water. And like all the concrete was nice and dry. You just had to sweep off all the sand.
I'd rather have it be like 75 degrees and not have to deal with any cold.
I mean, that would be ideal. There again, I think the desert life is probably the most perfect weather in my personal opinion, but you got to be able to tolerate the hot. But the hot is no different than the extreme cold, so it's equally as bad. But I would rather live in the desert. I always liked the desert climate.
There you go. You can move out to the desert where it's 115 degrees.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Think of all the overheating issues you could fix out there.
As long as it isn't humid, that dry heat ain't so bad. I mean, you can acclimate to 150. Now, when you start getting over 120, that's a different story. That's hot. I don't care if it's dry or wet. The worst heat I ever experienced was in Kuwait, 140 degrees. 140 degrees. Insane. Like, put your face in an oven.
How do the cars run?
Dude, I watch them Kuwaitis, them locals, come in and like service the generators on their fobs. And, like, we're talking big generators, like those big Cat ones, right? Industrial size, diesel powered. And them dudes would go in there in the middle of the day, do an oil change on them things with like a handkerchief around their head, their face. And I just looked at them. I'm like, I do not envy your job. That had to be miserable. Because it was hot. It was so hot, like you didn't want to be outside, you know? They were used to it. Where'd everyone go?
I don't know. I never know if that one is like you or if it's somebody else.
That's probably me.
Well, they'll probably be back. We usually start at 2. Oh, all the other ones I started at 2.
Yeah, nobody knows you're live right now. I scared everyone away.
Maybe they're like, oh God, Paulie's in here.
This could get interesting. Or annoying.
Uh-oh, now we're turning into Joe's Auto Electric.
Why?
You got the cigarette going.
Yeah, I'm not a... You're not allowed to smoke on live streams, I heard.
Probably not.
Even though I watch guys do it and I think it's awesome. Like, hey, I'm going to sit for like a couple hours and live stream. I'm having a cigarette.
I was talking to somebody the other day about how smoking used to be the norm in everything, and now, like, when somebody does it, it's not professional looking.
I don't care what they think about professionalism. Like, that's how I am. Like, I smoke, so...
Well, that's fine.
I mean, I'm not going to sit and smoke if I was in like a formal meeting or something. That's a different story. You know what I mean? But back in the day, man, working in the shop, used to smoke while working on cars. So
yeah, while changing a fuel pump.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, for real. Like, I remember doing fuel pump smoking. Not even joking.
With a full tank of gas.
You ain't.
He's like, it's okay. He's like, We can smoke while changing a fuel pump, but no welding with the fuel exposed.
Yeah. The guy you need to be worried about is the guy grinding on something next to you.
Oh, while you're smoking over the fuel pump. Because what happens is the spark lands on you, you jump, your ashes fall in the tank. So it's his fault.
Yeah, but the ashes aren't good. The thing about it is the cigarettes doesn't have enough ignition. Like, you can't light up gasoline with a cigarette.
You don't think so?
No, I know
Go-
so. I've
prove it.
tested.
Oh, you
I
tested it?
will. Yes, you can throw a fucking lit cigarette or throw a freaking lit cigarette in a bucket of gasoline. It will not ignite. The cigarette will go out.
Huh. Guess we'll have to try this. Did you freeze? I think we lost Paulie. Hey George, do you see Paulie? Let's tell Paulie. Oh, we lost Paulie. See if he'll come back. I never tried to light fuel with a cigarette, so I wouldn't know. So, have any of you guys seen fuel that eats bolts like this? Let's see, can... Oh, there he is. He's back with his cup.
No, I'm back because my phone died.
What is that?
I am the most prepared person ever. That's
That's
2-4
good.
facing.
George said you had too many cigarettes, that's why you died. He's very supportive.
I know he is. Appreciate
Oh, look at
that.
this. We got an FDX hat. Official sponsor of this live stream.
Snap-on. Guaranteeing you're gonna be broke.
Guaranteed to have the tool to get the job done.
The question is how much did I have to spend to get the hat?
Nothing. They're an official sponsor of our live stream.
Oh, I got a funny story. So, well, it's really funny, but I went out Friday night to have a few drinks and dance, right? So I went out dancing because I haven't done that in a while.
That's what he calls it. He was making money.
Yeah, I went out dancing. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. I wish. So I'm dancing with this broad. Well, not really a broad, but some gal. And I must have pissed off some guys because this one dude just wanted to start crap with me all night. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'm just out here just to enjoy my life and go home. So he starts crap with me. Well, needless to say, it ended in the back of the alleyway. And I went home. I walked home. But, I came home with my snap-on jacket, so that's cool. I'm not going to tell you what was said, but it was an interesting moment. Guy was starting crap. Like why do people gotta do that? Like, I'm out trying to have a good time. I'm not messing with you. I'm not starting crap with you, and you come up to me and you just start crap. This is why I don't like going out. That's why I don't like going out. I'm just out to have a good time. You gotta mess with me. Leave me be.
Did
So,
he tell you?
anyways,
Did he tell you why he was mad?
he was mad because he was young and he was a diesel tech and he seen my jacket and he thought I was out there like talking crap to him. And it's like, guy, I didn't say a word to you. I literally came here and you came up to me. The guy literally came up to me. I kid you not. I'm up at the bar. I'm getting a beer, okay, a light beer because I was like, you know what? I'll just stick the beer tonight. So I get a beer and I'm talking to this other guy there. And the dude comes up to me and he goes, "Are we gonna have a problem?" And I'm like, "Have a problem with what? What are you even talking about?" Like I literally came in here to get a beer. I wasn't even dancing at this point. And this dude's already like coming up to me, like trying to get under my skin. And I'm like, is this seriously how it is to go out to the bar nowadays? Like, you got small thing syndrome so bad that you got to come up and just start crap with people. So then I just, like, finally I had enough. I was like, you know what? Let's go out and have a cigarette, buddy. So we go out and have a smoke. And I was about ready to rip him. I was about ready to grab his face and pound it into the concrete, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it because other people pulled me away.
That happened to
And I
me
was
the
like,
one
have a
time.
good night. Huh?
So that happened to me the one time. I went to this club with my friends, and they smoked. So we went outside
Yeah.
to a back spot where you smoke. And I was out there. This guy got all mad. He
Yeah.
came out and slammed the door straight out, hit my shoe, came back and smacked him in the face, and he was pissed off at me.
Yeah.
And he tried to fight me.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
You just, like push the door open as hard as possible, and it's not my fault. I hit my shoe and came back and hit you in the face.
Yeah. Like seriously, dude. Like, I'm out there. I'm trying to be nice to this guy. Try to talk to him about it. Like, say, hey, look, man. Like, I'm not trying to start any. He's like, you're just a lube tech. Like, really, guy? Like, I'm 37 years old. I was working in the shop when you were still, whittling your bean in your mom's basement. Like, I don't have time for this. And yeah, he just kept pushing, and it's like, well, and then there was a couple gals that one of them was the one I think I was some of them were the ones that were out on the dance floor with me dancing because I was just like, oh, just whatever, I don't care, I'm just dancing. Well, they separate the two of us because I was about ready to either get my rear end kicked by this big dude because he was big, he was a big fat guy, and I wanted to just beat him. I wanted to pound that guy so bad, like not pound him in a gay way, but well, maybe I don't know, but yeah, and oh yeah, that's right. So then that all goes down. Well, then the one gal like goes to her husband or boyfriend's like, he pulled my hair because like she got in the middle of this scuffle, and it's like, well, duh, you dumb broad, you got in the middle of a scuffle. Like you thought you were just gonna get in the middle of something and not get any scratches or anything. It's like, so this other guy's mad at me. I'm like, I gotta get out of here before I get jumped by five guys in the alleyway. Wouldn't be the first time or the last time too, but this goes to show like why I don't belong out there. You should have went kung fu on his. Yeah, I don't have to go kung fu. I would have just probably, well, I don't know. It probably would have ended on the ground. Either he would have been crushing me or I'd have been choking him out or put him in an arm lock. I don't know. It's one of the two. Either
Probably
way, you
goes
don't
up for
win in
work
that
the next
fight.
day with all these bruises.
That's the thing about fighting. You don't ever win. You know, even if you beat the crap out of another guy and he gets like two good ones in, you still hurt the next day, so it's not worth it. And I wasn't about to go to jail over it either. So
Yeah, tell everybody
just a
those
young
girls weren't
guy.
hot enough to go to jail over.
No, they definitely were not. They definitely were not. And actually, there's probably none that are. But it's just like, come on, man. Really? Like, what do you know? Like, I'll Joe Biden that. Come on, man. Just leave me alone. Let me drink my beer in peace and dance and go home. But no, we got to start crap because, the thing singing in between our legs is too small. So, the only thing I can think of. Too many cigarettes. I died. Oh, now I can't leave my couch because otherwise my
Why?
phone's going to die.
Oh,
My phone.
you need a bigger charger. You need a longer cord. You should get a 30-foot cord. Then you can go anywhere.
I got 6%. I got 6%. You can't unplug at 5 because these phones automatically shut down at 5.
So
And you
what's the
might be
point of
asking
going
yourself,
to 5% if they shut down at 5? Like they should just make 5-0.
right? It's like, no, I want to run this thing till it's at like a 0.5%.
I want to run it
I've
till
been
it
up all
doesn't
night watching.
charge up again.
I've been up all night watching YouTube. So my phone, even though it was fully charged this morning, she's not liking life right now.
Maybe you should get one of the cases that have a battery bank in them.
I like those ones that are you ever seen those ones that are like solar powered now?
Yeah.
Those things are kind of cool.
Yeah, but did you ever look at the time it takes to charge them?
Nah, I'm sure a long time.
You're looking at like 4 or 5 days.
Is it really that long?
Yeah, because they only charge at like, what is it, like 200 milliamp.
So it's more of
That's
a
just a
tender
charge.
than
That's
anything.
just charge like the bank up. Like if you're talking about one of the solar banks, I don't know how long it would take to charge your phone up, but your phone's probably gonna be draining quicker than it's charging.
Yeah, I suppose depends on what you're doing. All I know is when you start streaming videos on these things,
Well, you figure
it eats up the juice.
most phones pull like what 750 milliamps to 1 amp while they're on.
They pull a full amp.
Some of them do. I think mine's like 750 or 1 amp when I'm using it, like if I'm watching a video.
I don't know. You think about it. The problem with it is I think my battery's going because I hotspotted for the longest time for the kids instead of buying internet.
Make
And I think I killed it.
Make a video using it. Like make a video fixing it. Put a new battery in it.
I don't think you can even. You're not even technically able to replace the batteries in these things anymore.
I bet you if you look up Jerry Rig everything on YouTube, you'll find out how to take the phone apart, and you can do it, or iFixit.
I know, but by the time I do that, I might as well just pay the insurance, say I dropped it, and get a brand new phone.
There you go.
You know? Although I have been pretty impressed with this Note 10. It's been a pretty good phone.
Note 10
For the abuse
Plus Lite Max.
Yeah, it's a pretty good phone.
I just watched a
Good
video
camera.
on naming
Good
cell
camera.
phones. So you think I'm going to be able to charge these batteries up? They're at 0 volts.
What are those for?
This flashlight.
Maybe.
So you have to put
Is it worth
colored
charging?
electrical tape on so you can find them.
You know what you need to do? You need to run down to Walmart. You buy yourself a bunch of watch batteries and just
Yeah.
wire them in series.
Yeah.
And then there you go. You got it. It's fixed.
In series. I have a feeling very quickly we're going to get over the voltage of 4 volts. Because watch batteries
No,
are like
it's a
what?
little better.
Are they like 1.3 volts?
Are they 1.3 volts each?
I think so, something like that.
So then you put 4 of them in series, then put another 12.
30 in parallel.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my charger. I'm going to grab my charger real quick. Message Corey, see if Corey will come on. I think he's the one that brings all the views in.
No, I'm not doing it. That's like soliciting. Rob, always trying to look to make the dollar. I'm on to you. I only monetized my channel because Rob made me. In case anyone's wondering. I blame it all on Rob. Oh, man. Spending my Sunday on YouTube.
What did you say?
I said spending my Sunday on YouTube.
There's nothing better to do. Here, we'll call Corey.
Yeah, I could be doing stuff that's important.
This is important.
I know it is.
There we go. We'll call Corey, see if he answers. If not, we can all leave him a voicemail.
He's busy.
Oh, he didn't
He's
answer.
doing stuff.
Everybody should go.
He's
Oh, people on
ignoring me.
Facebook, though.
He was active 5 minutes ago.
It says he's active now.
Yeah. Oh, see?
Oh, he's messaging.
He's purposely avoiding the live stream. That's it. Unfriending. No, it is. That's what I do. I purposely will ignore your phone call. Got to keep you in the mystery. It's like a love-hate relationship.
It happens.
What's he doing that's so important that he couldn't answer my phone call, Rob asks. I'm whittling my bean in the bathroom.
So what
Can't
are the
believe a
chances
word
of
I
us
say.
starting a fire?
I don't know. Oh, somebody told me I can't talk with my hands anymore in my videos.
Wait, what?
Somebody told me I can't talk with my hands anymore in my videos.
Okay.
So, now on, you're going to have to look at my ugly mug because this guy not having it.
Why can't you talk with your hands?
I don't know. I think he was just joking.
Oh, because somebody told me on my video that I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, you're right, I don't know. They were like, worst video ever, you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, I'm glad you figured that out.
You want to know what my favorite saying was in the service? Privates are the greatest thing the Army ever invented. Because they look at people like me and actually think I'm responsible. Little do they know. Oh,
This is ghetto.
I gotta go pick my kids up at 7 p.m. tonight, and I don't want to drive.
At 7 p.m.?
Yeah, it's like a 35-minute drive.
I guess nobody can
I
answer
just don't feel
why
like driving.
this fuel ate these bolts.
I already told you my answer. Diesel fuel.
But I don't see how diesel fuel is going to eat the bolts.
Mixed with gasoline. It's like science. Science. Whatever they put in there obviously is corrosive. So did you get a new pump for it yet?
No, I'm waiting for it to come in.
Did you flush everything out?
I cleaned out the driver or the passenger side, which is where the pump goes. The driver's side, I tried to suck fuel through the hose that's over there because it has like one of those vacuum siphon things over there. But I didn't take out the driver's side because I had it all back together. But I don't think any fuel went over there because I think the 8 gallons fits on the driver's side only.
Yeah, but doesn't it transfer the fuel back and forth? Isn't that how that works? I guess
No, it sucks it from the other side. Because like if you have a severe imbalance, it won't work right.
Got it.
At least that's what I read and I was told, so I don't know.
I don't know, but I've been seeing a lot of fuel injection problems lately. So I don't know if there's a bad batch of gasoline going on or what, but I've definitely seen a lot of fuel injection problems in the last couple weeks. Could just be that time of year, but
fuel injection year.
All GMs. Imagine that. All GMs with fuel injection problems. Sticky injectors. What am I waiting on? I'm waiting on that. I got a Cobalt that had injection. Well, I did that. I put that transducer because I finally, got with the times and started using my 0 to 500 on the rail to my scope. It's pretty sweet because when you do your balance testing, you can actually see the changes as it's dropping the injector. You can see that consistency. So I'm curious to see what it's going to look like now that I ran the injector cleaner through it. She did not like life as I was running the cleaner through it. It stalled maybe 15 times doing it.
But why didn't it like it?
Because the injectors are shit in it. I recommended injectors, but you know how that goes. We're going to try this. And I'm like, okay, I pre-warned you. I think it needs injectors, but we can try it. Maybe I'll be wrong.
Did you tell him you're never wrong?
The problem with I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times. I just, it's like the car's got 88,000 miles on it, and it's 14 years old. How long does it just sit there? Old fuel. Sometimes you just can't fix that. Sometimes you just got to replace But you never know. Maybe if the nuns didn't own it, it's the nuns that own it, right, in town, at the hospital, at St. Gabriel's. So they don't drive, the nuns aren't driving like on the racetrack, okay?
How do you know?
And they sure, well, maybe there's that one nun that pops in some Metallica and just puts her to the floorboard. Never know.
You never do know.
She's rocking some Pantera.
Have you not watched Nuns with Guns?
That's honestly, like, at this point, I would not put it past a nun nowadays. Rocking some Metallica or some like Pantera on the highway at 100. I just wouldn't. It would not surprise me. Come back, pray like 5 rosaries, and everything's all good, right? Mad respect for the nuns, by the way. Not my lifestyle. Could not do it.
Our live
So I
stream
got
went
mad respect for them.
failures to gutters to nuns.
And guns. That's a serious show too, isn't it? Nuns and Guns.
That was a movie.
It was?
Yeah.
Sponsored by the Vatican. It's part of our social outreach program. Oh boy.
And now Paulie's going to tell us about how to properly fix a 2.4 liter.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started on the 2.4s.
Check for TSPs. And make sure you check for years that isn't even related to your car.
Clear your schedule for the next 48 hours while you look up all the TSPs and try to figure
Like
out
I
what
said,
your
you
problem
got to check for ones that aren't even your year. You got a 2013, look up a 2018.
because it probably applies. When in doubt, replace the piston ring. Even though that's probably not your problem.
Like that one I looked up for you, where I looked it up for like a 2018, and it said from 2011 on up. But yet, when you looked up the 2013 or whatever yours was, it didn't show up.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got the 2.4 nailed. You ready? I'll give you the 120K service on a 2.4. Straight up. Providing that the person doesn't not good. But I'll digress. Here's the 120K service on a 2.4 GM. Argue, hate it, love it, don't care. Guaranteed this will fix it. He'll come in. He might need chains. Probably does. So you might as well just plan on selling the chains, sell the 2 actuators, sell the 2 VVT solenoids. You can probably clean the valve cover. You'll be all right. Just replace the intake. Don't even mess around. Clean up the throttle body. Service the transmission. Put in the new training line because they'll be leaking. Guaranteed. Probably going to have to do both output seals because they'll be blown. So you might as well do those. Lower control arms are probably wasted, so you might as well just throw a couple of them in there with an alignment. You might try to go for the struts and the shocks, but chances are the customer's not going to spend the money. So you can throw it out there as a suggestion, but why bother? You can still align it. Throw a belt on it. You're going to do the balancer chain You're going to do the water pump. You're going to do the thermostat. And it's very important you do the thermostat because they stick all the time and won't go cold. Change the coolant out. And, before you start any work, just run an oil flush through it. Just run an oil flush for about a good 25 minutes. Just let her idle. Get nice and hot. Drain all the oil out. You can pull the pan if you want. Depending on the damage you're going to have. If it comes in with, broken guide, whatever. That's pretty much the fix for a 2.4. Just saying. You'll do your plugs, your boots.
And then how long do you have to do it all over again?
Another 120K. Just keep fixed. That's what everyone hates on that. We can do a set of time machines in your garage. On the floor. And cheap. If I can put cams in it, cheap. You job on cheap. Everything's cheap. So my next purchase might be a 2.4.
You don't want the 1.4?
Just because they're that easy. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Stay away from the 1.4s and the 1.8s. You'll thank yourself.
So thank you.
But the 2.4, that's a great engine. And then just change the oil every 3,000 with some full synthetic Dexos, and you're good to go, right?
There you go.
Genius.
Oh, Paulie disappeared.
I must have hit a button. Rob,
What?
is anyone even watching this live stream?
There was like 4 people. I don't know what happened to them.
I got bored.
They might have got bored. But I didn't see anybody. Really commenting.
Everyone's so bored.
Maybe. We need more engagement. We need everybody to comment.
Well, you also got to remember that there's other live streams going on Sunday. Like you got Chad's going on today, probably.
Oh, really? We should invite him out of his live stream to join our live stream.
Well, that's kind of why, I don't normally like to do the live streams because I don't know what everyone else has got going on,
Well, maybe we should do ours at a time where nobody else is around, like 1 a.m.
Ooh, a 1 a.m. live stream.
On a Monday.
I'm down.
Or 5:30 on a Monday when everybody's eating dinner. The most inconvenient time. When people start work, 7 a.m. on a Monday.
I personally like the live streams that are just literally, this is me talking to you on a phone call on a Sunday.
And then you can tell everybody about how a lieutenant or command can ruin somebody's life in the army or military.
Oh my God. You do. I'm so glad I'm not in the service anymore. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved it, but best decision I ever made. Got out of the service.
Well, somebody joined us.
Who's that?
I don't know. I can never see who's actually in it. It just says how many people are watching.
They're putting, you know what it is? It's like bar hopping on a Friday night. Like you go into this place, like this place is lame. I'm going to the other one. So then you go to the other one, and you're like, oh, this is lame. I'm going to the other one.
But they just lost. If they're not here, then they won't see all the important information that you just gave on a 2.4 liter.
True. Like, if you're diagnosing a misfire on a 2.4 and you're going after...
Oh, Drew's Auto's in here. Look.
If you're diagnosing a compression or a misfire problem on a 2.4, chances are it's probably not really a compression problem. And if
you know, honestly, I've seen very little Ecotech compression problems.
Right, and if you're recommending rings and pistons, you're on the wrong track.
Ooh, although it might be part of your oil consumption issue, but now it's looking like there's a lot more issues.
Unlikely it's your rings.
So was that whole recall thing wrong?
No, I didn't say that, Rob. I didn't say that at all.
I'm just wondering. I've had a lot of people come in where GM moved it down to like what 3,000 miles for oil change interval.
How many pistons and rings on 2.4s got done for no reason?
I don't know. I didn't know if there was actually a problem.
I don't think there was. I really don't. I bet you 95% of the consumption problems would have been fixed with an induction service.
Do they have the valve cover issues?
Nope.
Unless
they're really carboned up, which even then, you can clean it. Just let it sit in the solvent. You gotta have a little patience, but you can clean it up.
With brake clean?
It needs an intake. And 90% of the consumption problems are old people driving it short trips. A lot of moisture. That cars are designed to drive long distances on the highway. Period. That's what the 2.4 was designed for. Commuting. Great commute car. You drive long distances, like an hour one way. That car is awesome. I bet you can get 400K out of one. If you change your oil every 3K with Dexos. And put chains in it when it needs them. Duh. Which you can do in your driveway. But everyone hates on it. Including myself when I first seen them, but after I started working on enough of them, I was like, you know what? This engine's awesome.
There's not much to most GM's motors. They're not that complicated. I think the 3.6 was their most complicated motor.
3.6 is a good engine too.
Still their most complicated motor.
It's their most complicated, but it don't have turbos.
No, that depends on which one you're talking about. They put it in the CTS with the twin turbo, 3.6 liter.
Are we talking about Cadillac here?
It's there.
Of course Cadillac would do something dumb like that.
Well, people don't realize that, like Cadillac and the Corvette are GM's experimental cars. They try everything on them first.
.6 is garbage. Why? Why, Drew? Why is it garbage? You tell me. Is it garbage because of the owner? Because honestly, the 3.6 is a pretty reliable engine. I've never put a 3.6 in because it actually failed, outside of the owner being the problem.
You should have said, you should have asked Drew if he owned one first before you said, is it because of the owner?
True. I don't think the 3.6 is garbage. Actually, I think it's a good engine. The problem is the owner.
Biggest thing is extended oil change intervals.
Yep. I mean, you think about the 3.6. All of the problems that are related to that engine are all related to poor oil change intervals. Straight up. Yeah, they had chain stretch problems, but what chain-driven engine doesn't?
Hey, Drew, you want to join in the live stream with us? I can add you in.
Yes, add them in. Now you have to be in, Drew. You have to come in and tell me why the 3.6 is garbage.
He commented.
Hold on, I gotta grab stuff.
Hey, Drew, join in. You can chat with us. You can even use your cell phone. All you have to do is click on the link and then give your camera and your microphone permission.
You could call this Real Talk with Rob on Sunday.
Oh, God. Drew was watching us naked.
Did you just say Joe's watching this naked?
Drew, he said he has to put a shirt on.
Oh, well, all right. Sorry. I gotta stay on this live stream with Rob because he said he. Yeah, that's right. I said it, Rob.
Well, it's about to get exciting now if Drew comes in.
Especially with no shirt. I'm looking forward to that. Is he gonna come in?
Oh, no, that's what he said he was going to do.
Let me put a shirt on. Oh boy, it's about to get interesting.
Wonder what kind of shirt he's going to wear. I wonder if it's one of my shirts.
You have shirts?
No.
Oh. All right, hold on. I gotta. I'm gonna pause mine for a minute
Uh-oh.
because it's about to get weird.
The link should work. I'll send it again. Because Paulie used it. There you go. Oh, we got Drew. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Took me a minute for that link to work.
I
But yeah,
like
you guys
how I can
caught
just
me.
add people in randomly like that.
That's how I spend my Sundays. I lay down in my bed and just watch a bunch of automotive guys and just chit chat or build stuff or random things, man. So I don't really put a shirt on, so I just lay there.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. So the 3.6 is garbage. Why? Well, you're right. 90% of the time, it's because of the customer's lack of maintenance. But I have seen some at very low miles, like at 60K, have a bunch of issues with the oil consumption. Not just that, but the timing chains have issues. I mean, man, I could just go down the list. There's so many different things that individual motor has problems with. Usually on the inside bank too, at that bank one, where all the problems will happen. So yeah, I've removed a ton of those motors, and yeah, I'm not impressed with them.
But were they just not driven a lot and then they weren't changing their oil often enough?
I'd say like 50% of them were oil changes were not done often enough. Um, but no, I don't think it not being driven enough wasn't the issue. There was one or two that it was owned by older people. I think it was I want to say it was a Buick Enclave, what had a 3.6 in it that had some issues, and they were very good about their car maintenance because elderly people usually are. Um, and it just had a ton of sludge build up on the inside from carbon. Um, so I would attribute that one to probably the style of fuel that they were using. They were using the cheapest fuel they could probably get. Couldn't prove it, but yeah. So I've seen many failures on those 3.6s. Not a big fan of them. Though I have seen some of them upwards in like 300,000 still going. Got a bit of a tick to it, or just I mean it's weird. It's I've seen some where people have maintenance their car very well, and they would just run like you know all kinds of problems. And there's other people I've seen where they beat the life out of them, and and the damn thing won't stop. So I guess it all really depends. I'm out in California, so it's a little bit different here as opposed to where you guys are at. So I don't get none of that rust issues like you guys do out there. So
You know what you got to do on them? You got to do regular every 30K. You got to do induction and fuel injection services on them.
oh yeah, you try to sell that to somebody who, when they bought it, was told that it's a 5,000 miles per oil change. The dealership didn't require us to do that. You try telling it to somebody who I was at my buddy's shop testing out what is it, the Autologic ES Drive, the Drive Pro ES, and I was out there messing with it, and they had this Honda come in, and they had a very green tech, and he was like trying to find something wrong with this Honda, and I was like, dude, this is a CVT transmission. They're at 80K. I would strongly recommend that you do a service on that CVT. They should have done it at 60. Know that the warranty doesn't cover up to 100,000. The engine does, but not the transmission. That's because the manufacturer knows that is not going to last past fucking 60 my last. Forget where mine. So,
How,
but yeah,
how many
things like
times?
that.
Hey, Drew, out of curiosity, how many times have you ever seen a 3.6 come in with a mechanical engine failure, like straight up bad piston, bad ring?
I wouldn't say bad ring or piston, but they would have mechanical failures.
Like what?
Timing jump,
But they're not an
valve burn.
interference motor.
Well, still, I mean, you've taken the timing chain off on one of those things, right? I
Yeah.
know they're not an interference motor, but still, you know, doing that job is a pain in the butt because you got to drop the motor. There's no way you can get that timing cover off with it inside the vehicle.
Yeah, there is.
So once you
You
bring
can
that
you can
down,
do them.
then
You
you
can
still
do
got to
them
clear all
in
the
vehicle.
passages. I have seen a lot of them with mechanical problems with scoring due to low oil because of the sludge, scoring on the cams. So, that would be considered a mechanical problem.
Needs a back valve cover.
Everything's a valve cover with you, huh?
On those.
Yeah. All right. Well,
On those,
yeah. So,
when you get oil consumption on a 3.6, just plan on replacing that back valve cover every time.
well, yeah. They couldn't make it easy and put it in the front.
Nope. You can get them out of there though without taking the intake off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of them have some space. Some of them have some space. It's
But you
not
might
like
as well pull. But at that point, you might as well pull the intake because then you can just blast the valves off, clean them up, and then your
a little
compression
bit.
will clean up.
And what are you using to blast the valves? Are you walnut blasting or are you
Nope.
just using conventional cleaner in a pick or how are you
Like
doing it?
like the way I do it is I just if I know they got consumption problems, I'll run a cleaner, a good oil cleaner through it. For like I said, for like 25 minutes, just straight up, just let it idle, let it break up everything that it can, because they're dirty. They're dirty engine. And then pull the intake, the lower, how they got the upper with the lower little like spacer. Pull that.
Yeah.
You're gonna replace those gaskets, and then just do your back valve cover, brand new valve cover, and then just spray your carbon choke cleaner down in there. And just let it go to the pan. Don't care. Just let it go right down to the pan. Just get down in there with just blow it out. Just blow it off the valves. That's all you gotta do. You don't need
So
a gasket.
have you ever experienced getting that carbon buildup in the bottom of the oil pan?
Yep.
Up in the
Yeah.
corner?
So like, if you're gonna do change, you might as well recommend pulling the oil pan, because then it's not that hard to do when the engine drops. You just pull the oil pan, clean it, reseal it, and you're done. Everything will be nice and clean again. It'll have beautiful oil in it again. It's people with those engines don't understand. They're like, one, you need to get into full temp. That's a big one. That's a big one with the GM engines. It's servicing the coolant, servicing the the thermostat, because for some reason GM just has a hard time throwing the 128 code, the slam. So like they'll stick open and then they don't get up to full temp. Well, people don't know any different, because depending on the climate you're in, like the engine could be running at, let's say, 165 degrees. Well, you're still going to have good heat coming out of the vents at 165, but the engine's still temp. Like engine temp needs to be 185 or above for that engine to run and burn out all the moisture. Because you can always tell somebody who drives it short trips or doesn't let it get up to temp, the engine will be really black and really carboned out every time. And that's what it's from. It's just or poor oil changes, but usually from poor heating or inefficient temp. Short trip driving, old couples, old people that are retired that drive those things. Same thing with like a 2.4. Like I always tell these people that are retired, like, do you drive short trips? Yeah, I only do like 10 minutes. Well, this is the worst car for you. Like, it's the worst car. This car is designed for somebody who commutes.
At that point, what are you're recommending them to get a Prius?
Well, I don't know about a Prius, but like,
get a Chevy Volt.
Yeah, something that something.
Oh, not a fan of the Bolt either. I hate to say I am a Chevy person. I would pick a Chevy over a Ford any day. But there are some things that Chevy has been doing in the last couple of years that I just cannot seem to agree with because it's just everyone else is moving forward.
But
And
if
we're
you're
still
not
working with
driving
the
more than like
motor.
10 minutes every day,
Wait
get
a
an
minute.
electric vehicle.
Hold on. Ford. Let's look at Ford, okay? I like Fords, okay? I do like Fords. I like GM too, but like Ford's 3.5, okay? They're EcoBoost. Now
Right.
riddle me this. How many 3.5 EcoBoosts in Explorers do you see come in with problems?
Not the ones that I see. Not the ones
Okay,
that I
so
see.
how many
The ones with the sheriffs,
F-150s?
though, those
How
ones
many
are always having
F-150s?
problems.
I know, but
Yes.
okay, again, I'll say it again. How many 3.5 Ford Explorers all-wheel drive do you see come in with problems with the turbocharged? Dual turbo.
Most of those will be the
Not
F-150s,
block, right?
but not a non-Explorer.
F-150s, but not on the Explorer. Why is that? Same engine.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I was trying to figure
Why
out.
is the
Was it 2 years ago? 2 years
Well,
ago, I
didn't the
looked at the
Ford
cab
Flex
on
have them
one.
too? The Ford Flex has that.
Yeah, it does.
But why do the F-150s have so many problems and not the Explorers? I can tell you the answer, but
I don't know.
I'll let
Poor
you.
design.
Because they think it's a
Poor
diesel.
design.
They think it's a diesel V8 and can tow anything.
Oh, there we go. It's what they're towing. It's like
Yeah.
people think they can pull a train like their commercial with a freaking F-150, but people
But
that
isn't
buy
that
the
what the?
Explorer are only towing their little camper or their little boat, which is what that engine was designed to do.
But that's what the commercial tells you. It can tow anything, and new
Right.
aluminum light bed and
You can
no
tow
dead
anything.
gas.
Well, look how long it
A
lasts.
tandem axle with a bunch of concrete on it.
Oh man,
Because it's a
that is
5-liter,
stuff.
right? It's a big.
Think of how
dude,
much.
it's messed up.
Think of how much heat those turbos are making when you're pulling a load like that for a long period of time.
Oh,
Not good.
Astronomical. Yeah, especially with a heavy load.
So
that's
Now you might be able to get away with that in a place like Florida.
If they were going up an inclination of, like let's say a 45-degree hill or even a fucking 90-degree hill, and they're going up in altitude and they're pulling this big ass boat. Yeah, there's gonna be a shit ton of heat in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, if you lived in Florida and you're on flat ground, that'll probably last forever.
Well, here in California, I would think a lot of it is because I see a lot of construction companies. Construction companies buy them as company trucks, and they use them like a company truck, and they just haul in those things. And they're here in California. It can go from flat land to mountain area to desert like nobody's business. And they're taking these construction trucks out to the middle of nowhere, and they're beating the crap out of them, driving through the dirt, the mud, the water, and so I would attribute a lot of that to that as well. But but the Ford 3.5 is I'm not a fan of the twin turbo thing.
But you are the
great
Edge.
in a car. It would be great in a car. I mean, yeah.
But what about the Edge? Like with the straight 3.5, naturally aspirated.
Oh man, the Ford Edge. You know what? I actually liked that one. Yeah, I did. What's funny is a lot of people hate that one, but I like that one. I wanted to buy one at one point.
They don't have a lot of problems.
Kind of
I hated about the 3.5 was that water pump hole until I found out that it was on the side of the block.
Oh, you're talking about the loophole.
That one's a.
Yeah, that they put behind the alternator and the AC compressor.
Yeah, and it leaks right out in the alternator when it goes out. Yeah, beautiful.
But I had a lot of guys telling me like, dude, if the water pump goes out one of those, and you get the milky oil, the engine's shot. I'm like, I don't buy it. So I got one in that had a wasted water pump. And you know what I did to fix it? And the car hasn't been back. It's fixed. It depends on how long you drive it, okay? Because this guy, as soon as he noticed that he was losing coolant and he had an overheat because the pump failed. So I took it apart. And I recommended doing the chains and the pump and everything, right? So I tear it all down. just like I do the 3.6. The nice thing about the Ford ones is you can do them in car.
Yeah, you gotta drop it a little, and you give it at a tilt.
Yeah,
And
but
then
you can do
squeeze
those clean jobs in the
you can
car.
squeeze that timing cover out. Right, true. They give you enough space. It's tight,
I
still
did
a
the
tight fit
Explorer
though.
in the car.
I mean, you can do it in the car, but I mean, if you have some experience, that way you're not prying on that timing cover to where you're gonna crack it or something. Because I've seen people do that, trying to do it in the car. But yeah, that's one of the things. It's still you still got to tear apart a lot of stuff to get to it. But I mean,
You
it can
do,
be done.
but you're only dealing with one phaser. And here's the beauty of it. So what I did on that one, I tore it all down. I recommended pulling the oil pan, and the reason I did is because I wanted to look at the lower end and clean the oil pan out. I doused that engine down. I'm not even joking. I get it all tore apart, get the pan off. It's in car. I doused it from valve covers on down, from top end of the heads down with brake cleaner and just blew everything. Blew it all. Put it all back together, ran like a tap.
Let me ask you this: Have you come into contact with any of those Ford Explorers that would give you cam correlation problems, and it was the tone ring on the back end of the on the back end inside the transmission on the crank, where the tone ring just shifted just a little bit?
That's I have not ran into that, but I know what you're talking about, and I know the 3.6 GMs had the problem with that too. I almost wonder if that's because, see, here's what I think. I think a lot of that has to do with being in the aftermarket. A lot of those issues were dealt with in the dealership world under warranty, so we don't see that as much. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
kind of like
I did one. I want to say 3 weeks ago, where I got called in because I'm mobile. I got called in to this used car dealership, and they had I think it was a 2016 Ford Explorer, and their technicians were having a hard time because of the cam crank correlation. And I said, well, have you guys checked timing? And they're like, well, yeah, we checked timing like X amount of times. And they're like, well, we replaced the crank sensor, we replaced the cam sensors, we replaced the chains, we replaced 2 phasers, we've taken this motor in and out of the car 3 times. And I told them, well, did you guys check the actual where the because they didn't want to take the turbo back out, because in order to get to that crank sensor you got to drop that turbo out of the way. But yeah, it turned out that tone ring in the back, that was the first time I ever seen one, and that car came from an auction. So I was just wondering if you've ever seen that before. I don't see too many Fords. I get called a lot more for a lot of other things. But yeah, that one was a weird one for me. I wish I'd have took better pictures. So maybe
But
made
see,
a case study on it.
that's something there again, like, I could be wrong here. Maybe I'm over recommending, but from experience now, if they're due for chains, a lot of times, depending on the amount of time it's going to take, I just recommend pulling the pan, because then I can verify everything then and there and be done with it. And then not only that, I'm cleaning out the pan of any possible debris that got down there.
Yeah, well,
so
I'm mobile, so doing work like that is not
well,
as
what you could do though, Drew, is you could say, okay, I know it's a timing problem.
Oh yeah, but once I verify that and I show them where exactly the problem's at, then I just leave them instructions as to what to do to repair it. And then
Right. So then you just tell them,
give me
hey,
my
look,
money
you
and I'm
guys,
gone.
if you're smart, just quote in pulling the pan. Just be done with it. And then when you're in there, verify that didn't shift on the crank. Then 100%, because you're already in there. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, if the customer's willing to spend the money on the chain job, what's another 2 hours to pull the pan, or an hour? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not talking more parts. You're just talking about what, some sealer? You might as well pull the pan out.
Used car dealerships are always cutting corners anyways, because they're trying to maximize the output of money for the minimal.
It
input.
depends on what they're doing, though. If they're paying you to diagnose something and you get it right 100%, a lot of times they don't care.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But I'm not gonna spend, a couple hours of my day in a foreign shop with a bunch of hand
But do
tools.
you do the repairs or do you just diagnose it?
I just diagnose it and go.
So then you can tell them to pull the pan, and then you come back and inspect it. That's what I do.
No, is that what you do? Really? No, what I do
Yeah.
is I tell them this is
Hell
what
yeah.
it
Like
is.
a lot of those
and
mobile
this is
videos, I go out, diagnose it, they pull the stuff off, and I come back then.
That's
I'll be like,
genius.
you don't want to pay me to do
I
this.
haven't seen any videos lately. I've been really busy because I've been studying a lot. I've been trying to get on board with a lot of this other stuff because I'm doing the Southern California Pico thing, and now that COVID is coming to an end, we're trying to get the club back up and running. We were doing great at the beginning of the year, so I've been doing a lot more studying, a lot more different things. Practicing with the Pico 7 software. I got my hands on the ES Drive Pro. Get more information on that. I've been out there with like 7 scan tools, testing them all together to see what does what and who can't do this and who could do that and what the boot up times are. What's the better tool? What's the better bang for your buck? Things like that. Still out there trying to get people involved with ADOS to do calibrations correctly. I don't know how it is in your state, but in my state, man, we got a bunch of people just, oh man, it's
I don't do ADOS.
oh man, it's
I
but yeah,
will do dynamic ADOS, but I won't mess with anything really.
Yeah, it's well, again, I get a lot of used car dealerships, and I get a lot of I got a lot of great customers that are like special shops. Like I got one in Pasadena that I go to, where all they do is foreign cars, German cars. Every now and then they'll get stumped. Not say that I know everything, but I'm just kind of stubborn. I'll show up and then try to figure out what they did and what they should have done, and then what needs to be done, and then so I get paid good on those jobs.
Well, the reason why I don't do
try to stay away from
ADOS,
the Mercedes though. Those Spinners, I try to stay away from those things. Those things are horrible. Things are horrible, man. It's a nightmare. Oh man.
the biggest reason I don't get into ADOS is, in a couple of my videos I hinted at it, some of the places I go to, it's literally a car cut in half and patched and welded back together.
Yeah, you see that would definitely throw off.
So, like, I've already seen cars at these places I've gone to where, like, the rear hatch on, like, say, like an Acura what is it, text Acura SUV, whatever the Acura SUV is, like the rear hatch, they literally put like 7 different hatch panels on the hatch rather than wait. What?
You're talking about the MDX?
Yeah, the MDX. Like they literally welded like 11 different pieces of another car on there to make a new hatch rather than replacing the whole hatch. So I don't even get involved in it. I'm just like, nope, not doing it.
Oh wow, that is amazing. Yeah.
I deal with a lot of the cars that come in that are from auction.
Yeah.
And you just know when you pull the codes that it's been in a wreck or something. So like the ADOS issues, like I haven't had to do a lot. I've had to do a lot of ADOS stuff, but as far as calibrating goes, that's going to be new. Using that too, but I use the launch. What's the?
Am I using the launch?
For your ADOS.
Well, right now I have the Autel.
The Autel?
I do have a launch though.
Which Auto?
But I'm still working with the MS908, the 908G.
Okay. That's what we got.
And then you can upgrade that. I wish I got an Elite. I got the 908 like 2 months before the Elite came out. I was like so mad. But yeah, but no, I've been when it comes to ADOS, what I've been doing is I've been using the Autel, but I've also been practicing with the factory tools because you can use the factory
Which
tools.
targets are you using?
Which targets? Most of the time, it's just usually Honda and Toyota. For some reason, seem to be the ones that are the most. Nissan Nissan comes out of the factory screwed up.
Really?
And they have made bargains with a local company. They might not be local anymore, but LKQ has bought up all of the junkyards out here, and what they have done in California is now they have their own like little mobile type deal, and they go to all the body shops, and they have all factory tools, and they have an articulation written with them that any body shop that has a Nissan, they go there automatically. Some of the Nissan dealers are actually using LKQ as the cars are coming off the dang truck into their bays, and they do calibrations right then and there. So, but yeah, I haven't done too many of the ADAS. I've done some, but yeah, a lot of the stuff. Some of the targets you can print out. I believe it was like Chevy or Chevy. You can print them out and just put them on the floor. Just find a nice little space. Ford, I haven't really done too many, but I've done a couple Nissans. I've done a couple Hondas and Toyota. The Toyota and the Honda. The Toyota. I've done one Mazda, which was cool because we had to use a cooler, and that came with the Autel set. But I didn't have that. That's when I was working with Scott Brown. As all that, and just spend my 30 days there with him, and practice and learning and experimenting with things. But yeah, the cone for the Toyota and the Honda, you can use the same cone. The only difference is it's moved up and down on like a PVC pipe, and that's a factory tool. It's some funny shit. It's literally a PVC pipe. And they just put the cone on there, and you move it up and down. One setting's going to be Honda, the other setting's going to be Toyota, and you can use that same tool. So if you're looking at factory tools, that you could save yourself some money there. And then that's it.
You know what ADOS reminds me of? ADOS reminds me of when TPMS came out.
Oh yeah. When they first came out.
Because everyone was like making this big fuss, and like I remember I worked at Tires Plus in the day. It was back in 06, I think 06. And Tires Plus actually paid for a training event. It was an all-day event for TPMS school to learn like all these crazy things we were going to and special programs to put these sensors down and direct versus indirect TPMS. Like it's funny to think about now, but and they were making it seem like
I'm having a hard time hearing you because you keep cutting in and out. I don't know if it's
Paul, you're lagging.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you were saying about the TPMS.
Well, I'm just saying it's just funny because they made TPMS seem like it was going to be this like groundbreaking thing for shops, and it wasn't. Like after a while, everyone just kind of adapted. That's where we're at with ADOS, in my opinion. Everyone's making it seem like it's a great thing. It's like it's not going to be that great. It's just going to be another thing we got to add to the checklist.
I personally think it's going to evolve. It's going to continue to evolve. Yeah. You look what like Tesla. You look at what other companies are doing with it. They're pushing for it. BMW and Mercedes, prime example. Volvo. They're pushing the envelope, and ADOS is like. I kind of look at ADOS like when fuel injection first came out.
Yep.
You got people they were comfortable with their carburetors. They don't want to go to that new technology. Oh, it's not going to last. And then before you know it, every car is electronically fuel injected now. And now we're dealing with direct injection. So it's just going to continue to evolve. So the way I see it is ADOS is a good place to jump in now and begin to understand and study how it works, because in the future they're going to have thermal imaging, and they would do in some cars. Tesla's using recognition software, which is basically AI software, and it's recognizing and detecting, if it's a human being, if it's a bike, if it's a sign. It's reading things far ahead of you, on the side of you, behind you, and it's just gonna get crazier, dude. It's just that's in my opinion, and it's gonna change. You know, I don't know if you know, but in California they just passed a stupid law where in 2035 they don't want to allow any more naturally combustible engines. They want all electric. You know, so that's definitely going to throw a loop for us out here because, you know, we're going to have to start moving into a different direction, you know, and start studying and understanding these, you know, there's a lot of people where I go, they don't even know how to work on a hybrid. You know, they don't even know where to begin. They're still afraid. You know, they're still with that whole mumbo jumbo that think they're going to die. Oh, if I touch the battery, I'm going to die. No, just pull the pin and wait about a minute, dude. You know, you'll be okay. You know, so but yeah, and then you have other shops that they're brave as hell, man. They're battery still plugged in. They got the inverter cover off. You know, like what the hell's wrong with you people? Oh man, no safety. I can't hear anything you're saying, brother.
Who's talking? Oh, Paulie, we can't hear you. Oh, hold on. Why is he muted?
I don't know.
Hey, Paulie?
Oh, I muted myself, I think.
I don't know. It showed mute on my screen, so I don't know if I can manually unmute you.
No, you did. I muted myself because I was in there and the daughter had Bluey on. Anyways, what I was going to say is hybrids. Ain't nothing too complicated about it. We just got to, you know, you just got to keep it simple. It's like everything else.
Just remember, you don't have to get dirty and greasy with a hybrid.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The dirtiest part is going to be on the interior.
You got to spend some money on.
They overthink it.
Well, it does cost a little more money for some of the tools. You know, like a mega ohm meter
for some of the tools.
For a decent mega ohm meter is it's pretty penny. You know, mine was like $400. So.
But here's the thing.
But it's accurate.
I can work on a hybrid with a Cat 3 multimeter. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that one, dude.
Why not?
I don't know about that one. Your Cat 3 multimeter will tell you which winding is bad. The motor Gen 1 and motor Gen 2 is what you're saying?
Why wouldn't it?
It can go down, so then why would we need a mega ohm meter to get down into testing those windings?
I'm not saying you don't need a mega ohm meter. Not getting there. What I'm saying is I can get by. I can get by.
But
you could just use your pico scope.
Oh, yeah, well, you could do that as well. Yeah. But you know, then you get the fearful jitters, you know, as far as, you know, do I attenuate? Do I not attenuate? do I test running? Do I not test running? Is this gonna blow my pico away? You know.
Well, they have that. I have it coming actually. I'm going to be making a video testing it. It's their differential probe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, nice.
I've been trying to make a video testing DC to AC inverters because I want to test the one I have and see how steady the current is, well, like the voltage is at high loads.
And are you going to be using that with a clamp, or are you going to be actually probing?
Well, it connects right into the leads. It literally isolates your picoscope from the actual voltage leads. It's called a differential probe.
Are you using a 4425?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
But you can use it on any pico. It's not. It just says BNC.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no, I agree. You could do it on any pico. I was just wondering because I didn't know. There's some people I know that they've already went out and bought the new one with all the fancy lights on it. And
no, I've been trying to get Pico to send me one, but they won't.
Good luck. Good luck. So, have you actually?
Well, they told me you can customize the lights on it. I'm like, I want disco lights.
You want to have a party while diagnosing? Diagnose party?
Hey, I want it to change to red when I start getting frustrated.
But see, you're buying this stuff because that's what you're doing. You know, like if you're working on them on the regular, of course you're gonna buy that stuff. You know, like that's kind of my point. Like if I'm not seeing hybrids, but maybe once every 4 months, why would I go out and buy all that stuff? I won't.
Right.
You know, because
no, I agree.
because I mean, it makes sense. Like it's like everything else. Like some guys are big into the pressure sensor stuff. You know, like you can put a like I just bought pressure pulse sensor from Cody, right?
Oh, great tool.
Yeah.
I have 3 of them.
Yeah, they're great tools. Now, a lot of times, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't diagnose them with a pressure pulse sensor. Why? Quicker for me not to. I'm just saying. But that's because I've got my ways of doing things that work right now. But now that doesn't mean that I'm not going to like learn it. That doesn't mean like I'm not going to like embrace it. There have been times where that shows me the problem.
Well,
you know?
I think a lot of that is also like if you're on flat rate, if you're a flat rate technician, unless you have a cart or something designated where it's always set up where it's easy for you to grab and check. But the truth be told, you're not going to use that WPS or that piezo sensor that Cody that you bought all the time. I have 3 of them. I on a regular basis, I might use, and I use my picoscope every day. So, I might use that sensor, I don't know, maybe once a week, not even at that. Sometimes I'll go a whole month with it just sitting there.
But let's put it into a different perspective, Drew. So like, that doesn't mean, see where we're at right now, in my opinion, is we're in a learning curve. So like, for example, the amp clamp, okay? I cannot go a week. I can't even go 3 days without my amp clamp. Now, it never was that way. It never was that way. Now it is, because like, if I get hard, like, that's usually one of my first go-tos, is my amp clamp and my scope. And I actually kind of proved this to myself. My screen got trapped on my bearing, or not my Zuki, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. How long is it gonna be? I can't be without this thing for more than 4 days. So she next day's, the Snap-on gal, she next day airs this thing out because I don't have a Pico, so that's my only lab scope. Well, needless to say, after 1 week of waiting for this thing to come back, because it took 1 week to turn it around, I was not liking life. Like, it was tough because I couldn't pull amperage on coils. I couldn't do testing that I'm used to doing with that amp clamp. Well, but I remember the days when I didn't have an amp clamp, and I'm thinking to myself, like, did I forget how to diagnose cars? Like, how do I not diagnose a car without an amp clamp? Like, weird, right? But no, it's just the way it is now. It's the way it is.
Well, I think it's like you said, it's a learning curve. But once you learn, I don't know. There's guys that come to our Pico club that they don't have lap scopes yet. They're trying to pull the trigger on it, or they have a Snap-on Modus or Advantage, or some of them have a Zeus and don't even know how to use it. And they come in asking all these questions, and the way I respond to them is like this. I said, look, it's going to be foreign for you at first to use this tool, but the more you use it, the easier your job becomes, and then you will come to a point where you can't go without it. It's not that you can't diagnose anymore. It's just that you're so quick to be like, okay, what's my amperage here on this injector? What are my coils doing right now? You know what I mean? It's so much faster to just put that clamp over it than to pull out a multimeter or pull out something else and then makeshift this whole thing just so that you can get one designed reading that you can get, which is going, So that's I understand where you're at with that, So yeah, but there are some people that are.
It's like like the YouTube world, okay? So like automotive panels used to be oriented more towards the DIY. Like, you bust a multimeter out and you testing this, right? Well, the guys in the industry are like, why would I be doing that when I could be doing this in half the amount of time? Okay, but your average DIY wire isn't going to go out and spend $450 on a Snap-on low amp probe, or a Pico. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, look
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
DIYers now that have lab scopes. It's kind of amazing.
yeah, you know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah, that's true.
discrediting it. I'm just saying, like, we're kind of at that point where it's like, I can show you how to do this old school, but let's be real here. No more on a lot of this stuff. It's not time efficient.
Yeah. Well, you know, they want productivity quickly, no matter where you're employed. And it's about getting the results and getting the customer out of the bay with a happy face. You know, willing to say, yeah, thanks. That was.
The first
I'm glad I spent that $2,500 there. You know, and you know, building that customer rapport. So yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It is a I mean, I get here in California, man. You can't go 2 blocks without somebody with their hood open, with the engine like sitting in the main street or something. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's
Well, I get quite a bit of phone calls from Craigslist, my ad on Craigslist, just like people agreeing to pay what I charge to come out just to diagnose their car. Just because
Oh,
they
yeah.
see what I do and they just get tired of not
offer
getting
up,
it.
same thing. Yeah, offer up, same thing. But it's crazy because over here, they don't call you until it's broken, until like it's really broken. So they've had like 4 different mobile mechanics that, you know, say they're mobile mechanics, but they're, you know, got their Craftsman
Well, see,
128 piece set in the back of their car, and they've never ever done any kind of training or real diagnosing, and you know, they got a little pocket Accutron that they got from AutoZone, and it, you know, and it says here crank
Is
sensor,
what it
you need a
is.
crank sensor. Oh yeah, Accutron works. It'll tell you what the weather is too.
Yeah.
Pull out the trusty
See,
Accutron. What's the humidity today, Accutron?
I priced a bunch of the mobile mechanics that advertise on Craigslist near me, and I'm like 4 or 5 times more than what they are an hour.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Like, and doing that separates myself from them. So when people contact me, I'm already in a different level.
Right. They're expecting something a lot different when you show up, right?
Right away, just with the price, they know, because like I tell them it's like $160 an hour. The most expensive one that I saw is $40 an hour.
Wow.
So like some people will be like, "Oh, I found somebody cheaper," but then like 2 weeks later they're contacting me.
And then you charge them double.
Well, I usually tell
The
people
reason why
it's
it's
$350 cash for me to come out.
Yeah. You're in a rural area, aren't you, Rob? You're out in like a not real city-ish, right? It's not real.
No, it's not. I'm outside the cities.
Yeah. So it's more.
I go into the cities sometimes, but I try to avoid it.
Yeah. And Paul.
Because when I go in there, then I gotta worry about stuff getting stolen.
Oh yeah, that must be nice. And Paul, you're where, if I remember correctly, you're where, in Texas?
No, I'm in Minnesota.
It doesn't snow in Texas.
Oh, well, actually, it does. In some parts
I
of
know
Texas,
it does, but yeah, but not this much.
Oh, all right.
I wish I was in Texas. Beautiful state. No, Minnesota, northern part.
Ah, man. Ooh. And I
So
thought, if I remember correctly, the last time I seen one of your videos, you were talking about you were going to quit smoking.
You can't believe what I said.
You can't believe everything on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't believe everything on YouTube.
I'm going to become a nun the next week of the next
you
week.
You look good in black and white. Oh, man. That's amazing.
No, I feel bad for you guys.
That is amazing.
You guys are struggling with that crap out there, aren't you? Or are you doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
There's a lot of mobile techs where I'm at. I'm
saying like the COVID nonsense.
Oh man, California's land of the unicorns, bro. You can't go without a face mask. If it was up to California, I'd have one on right now.
Well,
On a
hang
video
with
chat because we don't want to contract anything.
Right.
No, it's just it's retarded. I'm not saying that there's no disease. I just don't think that. I think it's more of a political thing, personally. You know,
That's
I'm not
because
saying people haven't died from it.
But
I'm
see,
not saying any of that. But the question I had
the
my
reason
son had
the
asking
reason your
something similar to what
mentality
you're
is
saying.
different because you're busy and you're making money.
Well, the way I see it is like this. How long has the flu been around? Is there a vaccine for the
Ever?
flu? No, right? There's no vaccine for the flu. So we have a brand new disease that's COVID-19, and they want to come up with a vaccine in 1 year. And the flu's been around for more than 100. It's like, really? That's just not logical in my mind. Like, okay, well, yeah, we have technology on our side now as opposed to what we did back then. But if technology was so good, then why we got no cure for cancer? There's no cure for AIDS. There's no cure for Ebola. There's no cure for, I mean, and then you want to come up with this one little thing here, you know, it just isn't, to me, it just seems like it's a political thing. I think, me personally, I think that once they vote a president in, you know, this can be COVID what, you know?
Yep.
I just my personal opinion, you know. I may be wrong. I don't want to sound like it's not real. It's very real, and people are dying from it. But you know, it doesn't make sense to me because you go to
It's like
I
people
went to
die
the dentist,
but people die
and they
every
had
day
this.
from a car accident.
Right. Well, I went to the dentist, and they had this little plastic thing hanging, and I was like, well, you know, it's an airborne virus. How is that plastic thing protecting you? You know, it's not. It's in the air, and
Well, here's a good one for you. I went to the Camden Aquarium a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and to get in there, your temperature had to be below 105 degrees. I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Why are you even checking people's temperatures? Like they wouldn't be here."
Oh man, they would be there if it was 102. Crazy.
Especially at an aquarium, like you should be letting anyone in just so you can get revenue.
Well, here's another thing. Like, you could pet the fish and the crabs and everything else that they had there for like the touch areas, but you couldn't go inside the bubbles underneath the aquarium because it wasn't safe because they couldn't clean them enough. They said, but you could walk across the shark pit in the net.
Nice.
Wow. That's great.
Priority.
And then you could go to Dave and Buster's right afterwards and play in the arcade, but you couldn't go to a museum where you can't touch anything.
Well, you know, over here, Dave and Buster's has been closed.
Oh, here they're open.
Yeah, they're not open over here.
Like, we even went to a movie theater. The movie theater, there's like 2 people in the whole movie theater. I'm like, this is awesome.
Now you know you can really tell people who are talking to shut up.
But yet, if you try to get alcohol, it's like $20 because they make you buy a $6 hot dog with it. Because the rule over here is, I guess, in order to buy alcohol, you got to buy food with it. So they crank up the price of a hot dog.
Oh man, that's crazy. No bars, nothing like that's open up over here yet.
Oh, you go to the bars here, and you don't even have to wear a mask.
Well, that.
Oh man.
That's see how crazy that is. That's just nuts.
Same thing here.
Let me take your temperature.
Same thing here.
And then 6 feet apart.
You can't go to school, but you can go to no mask.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up right there.
Rachel said.
Yeah, Paul, you were lagging out again.
Your kids can't go to school because it's a problem, but you can go to the bar and get trashed.
Oh yeah. That's really what it is. It's so retarded. I'm done with it actually. Okay, so where I live at, I live in Southern California.
Go, guys.
I live in Southern California. I'm about
I gotta go.
60 miles outside of Los Angeles, and it's all city. So our county isn't open yet. LA County isn't open yet, but Orange County, where all the more wealthy people are, is open. The malls are open. Everything's open. And where did he go?
He said he had to go.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I was listening.
Oh yeah, but none of the stuff there. No, there's no like astronomical number of cases or anything like that. So, you know, it's I don't know. It's just crazy. What you building there, bud?
Replacing the batteries in my light because apparently one shorted out and it's not working because whatever metal they used here, I guess, isn't really solderable.
Oh, I made it a pop metal.
I should probably make a tool to spot weld these so I never have to solder them again.
Like with that cold welder, something like that.
What?
What they call those cold welders, where it just flap.
No, well, you can make one that just does like a mini spot weld.
So how things going over there for you?
I've been really busy.
That's good. So I can't see the chat. Is there anybody else in here, or is it just us?
It says there's 2 people, but I don't know. I'm guessing they're not commenting or something. The last live stream, I think we had like 17 people in it.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
I think I need to find a better time to do these.
Well, you know, to me, I pop in and out of a lot of streams throughout the week. Sometimes I say stuff, sometimes I don't. Like, you know, I was in that Trained by Tech stream for a long time, didn't even say nothing to nobody. I was just listening to the conversation. You know,
What was it, last night?
No, it was Tuesday, I think. Wasn't it Tuesday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were talking about Right to Repair 2.0, which is in, I think, Massachusetts, where they're trying to vote to change the right to repair in legislation.
I haven't been in one of them for a while.
Oh, really?
Not one of theirs.
Yeah, I haven't. I've been really busy, honestly. I should be reading my book right now.
What's the book
I should
on?
be playing with this scope. I mean, not the scope, this tool. Trying to get more familiar with it.
What's the book
Pretty
on?
phenomenal, the things that it can do. Yeah. A little slow, in my opinion, but I think for the most part, it's a great tool.
What tool is it?
The ES Drive Pro.
Okay, I never used that.
Yeah, neither have I up until Friday. So, but for the most part, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. Like it has everything you would physically need. I'm just trying to put it to the test. I've been using it mostly on domestic vehicles last weekend.
Is that the one where they can log in and program stuff too?
Yes, it does have a wrap in it. It does.
How much do they charge to program?
I believe it's $120.
For everything?
I believe so. I think it depends too, as well, on what it is you're trying to program. You know. So, yeah, it's a great
Can
tool.
you program stuff without using that, or do you have to use that?
No, you can program stuff without it.
Like, okay, so you don't need to have to pay them then?
Well, if you have your own J2534 and you have your own.
Okay, I didn't know if you could do it with the tool or if it was only a wrap.
No. You can use the tool. You can use the tool as a wrap. You know, as long as you have a battery maintainer, and what you do is you change the cable on the top side, and it has an Ethernet line that comes out of it that you plug in your hard line, and then you just, you know, they take over from there and program whatever you need to do, and you go on to something else.
What made you buy that? You got a lot of European cars?
No, I didn't purchase it actually. It's on loan.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on loan, and I'm just checking it out to see what I can do with it, what you know, what the ins and outs are for it, and
I remember there was that one guy on
familiar with it.
YouTube, I forget what his name is, he had got the Autologic and he spent like, what, 20 grand or whatever on everything?
Uh-huh.
Like, all this stuff, and then he said he didn't realize it was only mainly for European cars. He's like, I'm still
Yeah.
paying on this, and he's like, I got like 2 BMWs in.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, the AutoLogic, the good thing with this tool is that it does Asian and domestic as well.
Okay.
So it has, you can go the AutoLogic side, and then there's like the Asian domestic side where, you can get into Infiniti, Mazda, Nissan, whatever, Honda, Toyota, and it's there for that as well. Oh, that's cool. What'd you do?
Nothing. The solder's not sticking.
Oh, I'm talking about your camera.
What do you mean? What I
Like
do?
it looks like I'm watching a Predator.
Really? I didn't do anything. It looks fine on my screen.
Oh, maybe it's my phone. I don't know.
Hang on, I'll try it. I'll try stopping it and starting it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I'm not really looking at it as far as the wrap portion. The tool you can load in a lot of different things. So if you have MotoLogic or if you have Paul Data or Mitchell, you can log on to it from that tool. So it's pretty cool. It's been a good experience so far.
Can you log into friends tools with it?
You know what? I don't think it has tech to tech, like the launch. You mean?
Yeah.
Where it goes tech to tech? Yeah. I don't know. That'd be that's a good question. That is a really good question. No, I don't know about that one. I know that Opus IBS can log into it. I do know that. So.
I should probably get one since I keep getting all these German cars in.
The AutoLogic portion of it is phenomenal, and the tech support is phenomenal as well. The hands down best tech support you're probably going to get. And then you're going to get vehicle specific. So you're not going to get the Honda guy trying to help you out with a BMW. You're going to get the BMW guy, and they're really good about how they do things. And,
well, that's
you
good.
Being a very how would you say, informed technician, you would probably have a better experience as opposed to someone who's a little more green, and it's helped me out, but I haven't used it on BMW or anything like that yet. Mostly Asian and domestic. I'm just trying to get my feet.
I've got like 15 Mercedes in the past week.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's good for you, man.
No, it's not good because I don't like working on them.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad.
These are pretty bad.
Well, that's because people buy used Mercedes for a good price.
I just had a 2000 Mercedes CL500 that came in that kept blowing the air compressor fuse, and also the shifter would lose its position, and I couldn't program the shifter because I don't have a locksmith license. And my friend has that Mercedes, what is it, the Exentry tool or whatever, that $30,000 one, and he can't do it because he doesn't have a locksmith license. And then I had a 2014 S550 that an auto body shop ripped the front bumper off and didn't know how to rewire any of the connectors. They just, destroyed 10 connectors in the front of the car. And then they had the horn plugged into the air compressor. Because they used the same connectors. I'm looking at this wire. I'm like, why is there 2 brown and 2 yellow wires that branch off the 2 plugs right next to each other? I'm like, why is one going in the air compressor? I'm like, I don't think the air compressor valve and the compressor itself would use the same color wires. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, the horn's not plugged in.
So are you using factory wire diagrams, or what do you use?
I was using Mitchell. Mitchell worked great for that 14. But the 2000, it was horrible. They didn't have anything.
Have you tried that MotoLogic?
I had tried MotoLogic 5 years ago, and then I stopped using it because it was still really new.
Yeah.
I did like the features that they had for Mazda at the time. I don't know if they updated it, but where you could actually actuate the door window switches and the door locks, and it would show you what's lighting up when you flip it. Like it would show the circuit like active.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if they still did that or not.
Well, I know I'm talking about, this is, I think it's, I can't remember what it's called. I think it is MotorLogic, but it's mostly wire diagram. Service.
Yeah, but they had interactive wiring diagrams for Mazda.
Oh, okay.
Like literally, you press the door lock switch and you press lock, and it would show you the lock circuit activate. And then you'd press
sweet.
unlock, and it would show it unlock. Same with the window switch, ignition switch. Like you would physically turn a key, and it would show you what activates.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was only for Mazda at the time, because they told me that Mazda had that feature, like I guess in their factory diagrams.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I don't know how true it is. I never seen a factory Mazda diagram. I never needed one.
Sweet. You almost done with that light there?
I don't know if the solder sticks. Like I've never had a problem soldering one of these.
Well, bud, I'm gonna get on. I gotta get going. I gotta get some studying done.
Well, that's
Appreciate
fine.
you inviting me in.
You're welcome. You can join in next time if you want. It's probably going to be every Sunday.
Yeah, if I catch you guys. Oh, really? Yeah, man.
Well, I did the last 3 on Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. You're you're in Mountain Time, right?
No, Eastern.
Eastern. So it's what, 3 o'clock over there? 1, 2,
It's 4.
4 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we've been on this thing for like 2.5 hours now because we started today at like 1:30 here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's 1 o'clock over here. All right, Rob. Keep up the good work, man.
Hopefully you learned something.
Ah, dude. If I don't learn something, I glean something from everybody all the time. You know, just to see how some people do things, what their approach is, what their thought process is. You know, I take into account that, you know, I'm gonna see different things with you as opposed to somebody who lives in Virginia, you know, and they could be in a rural area as well. You know, like Ivan at Pine Hollow, you know, I'm never gonna fix a Genie, but just watching.
You know what's funny? I've had to fix 2 of them.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So like, I watch them.
But I went in the city to fix them. They're in the city.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I'm never gonna fix one of those, but it's good to.
You
watch.
never know. I didn't think so. I got called out for an excavator too.
Yeah, so I just like watching the process. I like to see how people think, how creative they are on the fly. You know, like to see. I don't have this tool. I'm gonna make this, to makeshift that. I'm gonna do this to get it to do that, and just watching that whole process. That's where I really learn a lot of things from. That's why I like your channel too, is because you're always out middle of nowhere and you have to use whatever you got at the moment. If it ain't in your box, man, you're gonna figure something out. So
that's what you have to do, though.
Yeah, well, that's what an ingenuitive mind will do, you know. So, but like I said, man, I'm gonna get going, brother. Thank you.
Okay. If you want to see something neat, I don't know if you know NVH at all, but I just did a Cadillac video with a drive shaft where you had to orientate it right, and the markings were missing.
Really?
Yeah. You had to line up the drive shaft dot to the differential dot, and I had to replace the differential. And somebody who replaced the differential like 2 months ago, I guess, must have wiped the dot off the drive shaft.
Oh, that's nice.
So it caused a vibration once I put it in, so I had to keep clocking it. And I showed the vibration with the NVH.
Oh, that's dope. I don't have an NVH yet. I don't know.
I got it because I figured that's the way everything's going to go with these electric cars and like everything being quiet.
Yeah, it's well, I used NVH a couple of times over when I was with the dealer, with the Chevy dealer. And
yeah.
Every now and then you get this, you know, Sierra.
Well, I keep finding more and more people that have used it, but I never see anybody actually use it. Like people will be like, "I have it here at the dealership," but like I never see videos of people using it.
Yeah, see, I've used it a couple times, but I mean, nothing really crazy. But I'd probably get myself one of those WPSs before I get me an MBH. So
Well, WPS is pretty good. I'm gonna get one soon, probably.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
been
I
it's
got
been
this. I got this makeshift one that Ivan built me um, for in-cylinder pressure testing. I
yeah.
just put my compression gauge on it. I mean, not my compression gauge, my compression hose from my compression tester set, and I just take the Schrader valve out and I put this piezo sensor on the top of it, kind of like the ATS setup, and then a 5-volt reference box to get it to activate. Plug it into the Pico, works great.
So, you're
Prior
using
to
it
that, I
on
was
the
using it with my
Pico?
Modus. Huh?
You're using it on the Pico?
Yeah, I use it with the Pico.
You want to know a trick?
What's that?
Just get yourself a USB cable and cut the end off the USB cable, and then wire your pressure transducer right to it.
Really? And then just
Yeah, your
plug it into
USB
my
port's 5 volts.
Oh, sweet.
That's what I
use that
use.
5-volt box at the 5-volt generator that I have. I use it for other things too.
See,
I was testing out
my pressure transducers use the 3-pin connector, like the GM throttle position sensors.
right.
And I just literally cut a USB cable. I took a USB cable and cut the end off of it. Like
That's
I bought
pretty cool.
a
I'll have to try
10-foot
that out.
one, and I cut it off, and then I just wired the throttle position plug on. So you got 5 volt in your ground that you're using, and then your signal wire goes to your skip.
Right. That's cool. I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah, because well, actually, any USB port has 5 volts ground and then 2 data lines.
Right. So you.
So
just
it's just like charging your phone. Yeah, your USB port's capable of like 500 milliamps on USB 2.0. So your transducer's going to pull like 30 milliamps. Okay. And it's a very clean signal. Yeah, I never understood why people made all those 5-volt reference boxes when your laptop has 5 volts at all the ports.
That's pretty smart. I didn't even think about that.
Well, on every laptop, almost every scope has a USB port.
Reference box though. I use it for other things too though. So anytime I need
what do you use it for?
The other day I was losing a signal coming out of a crank sensor, and I put that 5-volt reference box there and see if I can get the crank sensor to kick over.
Yeah.
And it did. So I was like, okay, I know what I'm missing here. So I use it for various things. Sometimes to load the network or something, just so I can see if I can get activity through the wires from if I'm chasing down a broken wire or something, and I'm trying to rule out module.
For a 5-volt reference being down, I would use the 5-volt reference box too, as long as it can't put out a lot of current.
Right, it's a 9-volt battery, so it's not going to put a whole lot out. So that's why.
Okay, because like I had the 5-volt reference or the 5-volt adapter for the Power Pro. I think that does like 100 milliamps.
Yeah. And how does that work for you? Is that good?
I've never had a car that I needed it on yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All the cars that I've had, I needed it on were shorted. Like I did that Subaru, and the 5-volt reference was pulling 1.7 amps. It made the PCM get hot. The PCM burnt my hand.
Damn.
Yeah, it was only like a 5-minute video I made. It's a Subaru WRX, and it literally was 1.7 amps on the 5-volt reference circuit. Somebody deleted the intake flaps, and the connector shorted out on the block.
Oh, so it was touching. Oh, yeah, shorted out. Wow. That's
yeah, and I looked at the wiring diagram wrong. I was on that car for like 4 hours or so mobile because I didn't realize that the wire color went from blue to red. I completely ignored that part.
You were colorblind at that moment?
Well, Subaru likes to do that with the color changing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it changed right at the engine.
Wow.
But yeah, 1.7 amps was pretty amazing.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna have to get going, brother. So,
Okay.
all right.
Yep. See ya. Thank you.
I'm trying to see.
See you guys later.